Hey y'all, in today's episode, we're gonna see what this has to do with this. So stay tuned.
Redneck Gunworks!
Hey y'all, we're here at Redneck Gunworks today in the lab, as you can see by all this lab equipment behind us. We're actually here to do a test today. You know, we review different products, so we actually got a challenge to review a product. Ran into one of the guys who reps this in the area, and it's this Royal Purple Gun Lube. I didn't even know that they were in the gun business. We've seen this like in motorcycles and different stuff like that. Royal Purple Gun Lube. So it's a synthetic gun oil, has Synerlec, S-Y-N-E-R-L-E-C, Synerlec. So we're going to try this out, and basically I was told put it up against whatever. This is the best stuff on the market, so we're definitely going to check it out. They claim that it's very, very slick. The rep that I talked to says that it is absolutely fabulous in guns, especially the new semi-auto, auto type weapons. So we're going to test that out. What we picked though to go up against it, of course, is rim oil with what is this? Teflon. It's got Teflon in it. So we're going to check this stuff out. It's supposed to be really slick. I'm going to be honest with you, I've used this stuff for years. There's a reason why this is stuck around, so we're going to see how good this is. Also, we have Break Free LP. This is a lubricant and preservative. Actually, both of these are lubricants and preservatives. They actually, and the reason why we chose that is because they actually state that this has a preservative in it as well. That's what the Teflon does. So we made sure and pit it against things that have a preservative in it as well. So with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Matt. He's going to tell you how we're going to do this.
Well, we're going to do an abrasion test on 4 pennies. We've got 4 new production pennies. Their reason we're using these is because, they're not really solid copper anymore. They're zinc and copper, and so we're going to see at 1 minute increments how much copper actually gets taken off, and we'll see if we can get down to some silver inside there. So we got a drill press here, and the first penny is going to be without any lubricant at all, just copper on steel. Copper is real soft. So it ought to abrade it pretty good. We're also going to put weight on it. So we've got this weight. There's exactly 4 pounds of steel shot in here. So there will be 3 pounds of downward force, because there's 1 pound to pull this down. So there's a little redneck science for you. And that should hopefully give us a very good abrasion test and see which one of these is going to perform.
Okay, so let me get this straight though. The reason why we're using the pennies is because they're copper over zinc. And so copper's, well, copper color. Zinc is silver. Okay, so just to make sure, the penny that shows the most silver at the end of it loses. The penny with the most copper showing wins. Is that correct?
Yes. Or even the less marking. I mean, it's possible we could get something that doesn't mark the penny significantly at all.
Wow, okay.
That's possible.
With that being said, do you have any predictions?
Well, I use Hoppies.
He names the one thing that we don't have.
Right.
Hoppies.
So that's my brand, and it's not here, so that's going to be my prediction.
All right, so we do not have any Hoppies here. I have no idea why we don't have any in the shop right now. So I tell you what though, that actually opens the door up for you to add yours in as well. So if you're a Hoppies fan, definitely put that down in the comments, and we'll do another video on this because Royal Purple said they'll take on all comers. So,
or any other gun oil protectant that you think might be a good match for this. Let us know. We can do step 2 with another 2 or 3 different types.
All right, Redneck Lab Lubricity
Right.
2.1.
1.
Yeah, ish. 1.2. How does that work?
That would be number 2.
That'd be number 2.
This is number 1.
Well, why don't we get to work on this? We're going to do the control first. And then I guess we'll do in order of maybe when we first started using them. So we'll do the control first, then we'll do the rim oil,
Yeah.
then we'll do the brake free,
Yeah,
then we'll do the new kid on the block, the royal
Right.
purple. How's that?
cool.
All right.
Me.
All right. So don't go anywhere.
We're here with our drill press. We're ready to go. The first one we're gonna do is our control. All right, so we're gonna put this one in the drill press. All right. Hand tighten because it is wood. Then, safety first, I'm going to put on my safety glasses. And Jimmy's got his on too. And then now we're going to turn on our drill press. Remember, we're going to hang a weight on here so that we've got 4 pounds of force. And there we go. All right, so now we're going to do another test. This is a shear or slide test. That we're gonna test our lubricants here to see what kind of angle they slide at. And the reason we're gonna do this test is because, you know, in your gun, it's got parts that slide. So we're gonna see what that happens. And we don't really know how to interpret this test, but we thought it'd be fun anyway. And we're gonna go ahead and see what happens. So we have a penny here. This is going to be our control. Nothing on it. We're gonna set that right there. Then the next thing we're gonna do is rim oil. So there's our 4 tests: control, rim oil, LP, royal purple. So this contraption we have, we're going to pull this rope, lift up this plate of plexiglass, and see which one breaks first, starts sliding, and then what's the last one that breaks, and see what happens. Here we go.
So that was pretty interesting, right?
Yeah.
Kind of not sure what that, you know, I mean, the whole deal of it is this is supposed to, it's supposed to test when the oil gets in your slide, you know.
Does it help it slide?
Does it help it slide?
But it seemed to me that the one without anything on it slid first. So that could be because of surface tension. You have liquid surface tension with everything else, And
Right.
that one, there is no liquid surface tension. So you only have whatever raised points you have holding friction on that dry coin.
Right.
I wonder if it would be different if you put water on the control.
Oh.
Now you got three
We can definitely
liquids.
try that.
We should try that. Okay, so we've done a reset. We have control now has water, so we're going to give it some surface tension. Rem oil, LP, and Royal Purple. Wow, they're staying on there. Okay. So we completed the test we had planned. We found out through the abrasion testing that there really is a big difference in some of these, and especially dry. We really found out.
Yeah, that was the most interesting thing. I think.
Don't run a gun dry.
Yeah, I mean,
Keep it lubricated.
the abrasion test that we did on the drill press with the 4-pound weight, I mean, there's no comparison from it to any of the other coins.
Yes.
And then also the fact that when we did the slide test, that it put a scratch, an abrasion in the plexiglass. That was,
Yeah, that we didn't really know it was going to happen, but a penny doesn't weigh nothing. And it still left that abrasion on plexiglass.
Yeah.
So this was interesting in that we really have some. This is the dry penny, and it is abraded down to that.
oh, it's got to where the nickel actually
Nickel
has rubbed on it so much it's black.
Yeah,
It was kind of crazy.
it has completely removed any of the embossing when they struck the penny.
Yeah.
It's gone, and a pretty large spot. The next one we have here is the rim oil. Right? Yep, rim oil.
Rim oil.
It has quite a bit of abrasion, but it didn't cut into the penny. So you've got some really good. You still have protection, but if you'll notice, right here, there is a little curl.
Yeah, I like that little ribbon that it just finally
A
abraded
little
up.
curl of
Yeah.
metal right there that came off that rim.
Yeah. I assume that's just the last of the copper was just trying to hold on and got folded.
Could be. I don't know.
what that
It's
is.
silver.
Yeah.
I think it's actually tin.
Is it?
Yeah.
It may
it's
be.
silver.
Maybe where it's cut out.
So that's interesting. The LP, and it's funny how these all kind of wore at the same places. So I think that the pennies, the way they're struck, parts of them are raised higher and some are lower.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, these were all same series pennies.
yeah, they're the
So
same
they
series.
were all struck similarly.
and
then
they're all
also,
wearing in a similar place.
well, and also we had the same type of oscillation on that bit.
That's true.
So, I mean, with even pressure, I'm glad that they did
Even
all
4
wear the
pound,
same.
Right.
Because that really adds a lot more validity to the test. If we'd had one wear in the middle and one wear over here and one wear over here, that may have been inconsistencies in the coins. But the fact that all the coins wore in the same spots or the same type of spot on the edges and everything, that tells me that this test was a valid test in that they all had equal surface. The same amount of surface was exposed for the same amount of times, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So all things were equal.
On the Royal Purple, it really does have the least abrasion.
It does.
It really does. It protected pretty evenly.
I gotta tell you,
I'm wondering how hops, because that's what I've used all my life. I'm really wondering how it is
well, obviously we're gonna have to do this again, okay?
with some other stuff. Find some other stuff.
Find some other stuff, but then also improve our methods just a little bit. Because I'm like you, I want to see the Otis, what they call their dry lube. especially after we did the slide test and saw what the surface tension of the liquids do, I want to see if a so-called dry lube will give you the same protection without the surface tension, so that it slides easier, so that it actually shears.
It's just slicker.
A little
kind of like
easier.
graphite, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but can you imagine running graphite in your gun? That would be nasty.
Okay, that would be nasty.
That would be
Forget
nasty.
that.
Yeah, that would be. You'd never get that off your hands.
No, that would be a mess.
I think each one of these has their own application. In other words, the LP is gives you really good protection. Same protection as this did in the abrasion test, but it's thicker.
Yeah, this might be good for like storing.
Right, if you're going to store your gun.
You're going to store a gun, you're going to lock it away. You don't want it to rust.
Or let's say
you're not going to use it for a
in
while.
your AK that has
stainless
really
steel.
Big tolerances on it.
Yeah, or you got a shotgun
that
you don't have a Remington 1100. You've got something that retails for under $250.
Like the Stevens Model
Like
320 that we are reviewing right now.
Right.
We're going to test that on it because
this could keep it from rusting.
Yeah.
Because frankly, if it's in a humid climate for more than a few months, you're going to have to paint the thing.
Oh, and that Stevens, that was the problem that we had with the Stevens immediately. The first 2 weeks of the test, because we got them in November, the first thing we did was we took them out to hunt with them. And when we brought them in, they rusted overnight.
Right.
We hunted with them on Friday. We came back to hunt them with them on Saturday. And they were rusty, and they were in the safe. It scared the crud out of us. So this may be stick better. It may go more.
Especially on the outside surface, it may be better to treat your surfaces with this and the barrel on a shotgun with this if you're going to store it. And then once you're going to take it out and use it, just take a nice microfiber rag, wipe it off and clean it. But use that as a surface protectant because since it's thick, like we showed, it will stick.
Yeah, it will stick.
It will stick. We've seen that.
But I mean, we have so many people that use those in their 1911s. They use them in their Glocks. They use LP. I mean, there's a lot of people that use LP. Obviously, this is good, but I'm just saying for stuff with bigger tolerances. In other words, this may not run in your AR like this might. See what I'm saying? Whereas this seemed to shear really well, but it also gave you great protection. So this would be like for your ARs or your guns with really tight tolerances, your HK pistols, your stuff, where the Germans who sit around and see how tight they can make stuff.
Get a SIG.
Yeah, this is for your good and tight guns, okay? Right. Your German stuff, with tight tolerances, that sort of stuff. But it's a really good lubricant. If I was running an SMG, that you absolutely have to run wet, or like say, I've seen some of the belt-fed guns where you absolutely have to run them wet. This may be because it was lighter, it didn't pull up as much, it didn't have as much surface tension, so it didn't grab. And so as you're running it wet, as it's cycling, it's able to sling some of that fouling out. In other words, I think this would get rid of fouling before those would.
If you're constant running a gun.
Right, if you're running your gun wet. I would say that this would be better. But I don't own an M60. I don't own an MG42. So
I certainly don't.
So I'm gonna leave the rim all alone probably.
Okay.
All right. Cut to the chase. If you could only have one oil out of these three, because I know you're gonna say hoppies, and so you're automatically what do they call that? What they tell juries, you're sequestered from hoppies. Okay?
Oh, great.
If you had to choose one of these oils, you can only have one on your gun bench. Which one would it be?
I would probably go with the Royal Purple.
Yeah, I probably would.
Because we actually saw all the stuff in between when we were testing and in between the videos. And I would go with the Royal Purple. When we were between some of the tests, we were talking, and I was like, I may have to look at Royal Purple and replace the hops with the, he calls it hoppies. I'm not sure why.
Because it's got an E at the end.
It's a silent E. So anyway, I'm gonna have to. So I'm probably gonna have to go with Royal Purple. If I had to replace Hoppies, if they took Hoppies off, you got me saying it.
It's a fun word. Say it with me. Hoppies.
So if they take hops off the market, I would have to go with Royal Purple. And I think we're gonna have to do the test so I can see
if it goes against it.
What happens.
It'd be interesting. So definitely watch for 2.0. The deal sealer for me in all of these was the fact that it was the audible difference. When we were running these on the drill press with that 4 pounds of weight on it, that sound that the dry one made was like nails on a chalkboard. Yes. It was terribly frustrating, to the point of we literally walked away from it for every opportunity we got. We walked away from it. When I did the 10-minute test, I literally put in ear protection. It made that terrible of a sound. It made chill bumps all up my back. The rim oil wasn't much better. It really wasn't. It was still kind of loud. The LP ran really, really quiet, but man, the Royal Purple ran almost. The lids suck. I'm just going to say that. Don't hold it by the lid. Anyway, Royal Purple, make better lids for rednecks. Make a southern version. How's that?
There you go.
For NASCAR Americans. Just saying. Anyway, that stuff ran quiet. Hope y'all liked the information that was in here. If nothing else, maybe it sparked your interest enough that if you have these oils and stuff laying around, you don't have to take the manufacturer's word for it. You don't have to take our word for it. This is something that you can absolutely test for yourself.
Yeah, it was really cool. We got to build some stuff. We got to figure out some things about how do we make this work? How do we do this? Applied some redneck engineering to it. It was really great. I really enjoyed that part of it.
So yeah, we got to have some fun with that. Hey, I hope y'all had some fun too. If you did, make sure and hit the like and subscribe button down there. Leave us a comment in the comments section if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. We love your interaction. We love your feedback. Hey, we appreciate you guys.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Redneck Gunworks!
Really almost cut my titty off.